Okay, viewers, this is Health Nibble number 69, and it's the incredible. It's number 2 of the 7 incredible benefits of fasting. I actually, upon review of my Health Nibble last night, I actually talked about stem cell production. So you're gonna you're gonna hear a lot of overlap, but stem cell production is an amazing part of fasting. And actually, you can get stem cell production just with like partial fasts and intermittent fasting a little bit, but when you move out to like a 5-day fast, I mean days 4 and 5, I mean you really get some major stem cell production. And then when you break your fast appropriately, which we'll talk about, that's when it just kind of supercharges all those undifferentiated cells. And so what that means is stem cells are cells that don't know what they want to be when they grow up. And so it's pretty amazing when you see them under, actually there are videos out there that show the stem cells when you inject them into like a damaged knee, and all of a sudden they'll just, I mean, the innate intelligence is unbelievable. So you see these stem cells, they just become whatever tissue they need to be to heal the body. And so, we talked about autophagy, where the body will actually gobble up for energy. It'll gobble up all the bad cells first, bad mitochondria, bad DNA, even cancer cells. It'll grab those things first, and then after that, you start getting stem cell production. So basically you're taking out the bad tissue and putting in some new tissue. So
and during a 5-day water fast, you get a boost of the stem cells on day 3. And then you get a major one on day 5. So that's why it's always good to extend your fast. If you can get to that day 5, that's where the magic happens for stem cells. So. Yep,
and not everybody can get out to 5 days if you're really in sugar burning pathways, and not fat adapted. And fat adapted means that, like Erin and I are both fat adapted. She's probably more fat adapted than me, but we can just eat clean for like a day, and or no carbohydrates, and move into ketosis. And so I'm going to show you how you know that. So one of the things, the tricks, is you have to test your blood. People say, oh, I'm in ketosis, and because they might urinate on some strips and looking for ketones. Well, those are ketones they're not burning. So that's not a great way to evaluate it. What you want to look at is the balance between blood sugar and ketones. So when you're in sugar burning pathways, you're not going to burn fat at all. And then when you start getting to this like healing, growth, and repair pathway in ketosis, the sugar drops and the ketones raise up. And so when you're trying to get fat adapted, the body, sometimes they're both a little high, and they go back and forth, and there's a whole bunch of science behind that. And that's what we do when we're coaching people through these. And most of our patients that are really sick, we got to get them out to a prolonged fast, even a 5-day fast once a month, and that takes some coaching. The other thing that I would warn is, if you're on drugs for diabetes, you really have to know what you're doing, be monitoring your blood ketones and sugar. So like metformin really screws that up. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is show you how to test your blood. So
this is what we're using. It's called a Keto Mojo.
And you want to get it up there so they can see it? Oh, okay. Keto Mojo. So I talked about this before. It was one of the early health nibbles where I was testing blood. Keto Mojo, we feel like, is the best bang for your buck. I mean, it's the best value. We have another one. It costs, I think price was like $120 or something like that. And this one is, with some strips, is about 40 or 50 bucks. I can't remember. I don't carry them. Shopping online is so easy these days. We just tell people to go online and get it themselves. Where the cost really comes in is the strips. So the strips are kind of expensive. So I'm going to poke myself here. All right. And so I just had a pretty hearty weekend, meaning ate quite a bit. I did fast on Sunday, so that usually moves me right into ketosis. So we're going to check the ketones.
They can't see what you're doing, Lee.
Oh, sorry. So I'm checking them.
So I'm going to do it so you can see how it's done.
So we'll see what they are. I don't know. 1.1. So as long as my blood sugar, yeah. So like I said, I'm pretty fat adapted. I haven't actually eaten today. I did work out. Sometimes workouts will start pulling sugar out of your muscles and your liver and, you know, all over the place. And so you get a rise in blood sugar. So I'll see if that happened. So I'm going to test my
It's going to test his glucose.
Glucose this time.
So they're 2 different types of strips.
2 different strips. And so if I'm in true ketosis at, you know, burning at, hang on here, I got to get this to, oh, that's going to squirt. Hopefully that's enough blood. So we'll see what it says. What's that say?
97.
97. So that's probably a little closer to 100 because I rode my bike for a few miles, maybe 5 miles today, and then worked out at the Y. And so if you know, when you go into a fast, it's usually a state of relaxation, like healing, growth, and repair. You're not working out really hard. And so those ketones will be, you know, up in the 2.5, 3 range, sometimes 4 range, and sugar's down sometimes 70s. But to know that you're in ketosis, you want your sugar levels in the 80s at least, and then, you know, ketones up around between point.
I'm 75 for glucose.
Yeah. And my glucose always runs a little higher than hers for some reason.
And then ketones.
But did you work out today?
I did not work out today. Let's see. It's counting down right now.
Michelle.
Oh, I'm at 0.5.
So you figure out, like, you know, what your body does, and mine has a tendency to, you know, I will have, if I work out, I get higher sugar levels. If I've been fasting, and then, but the ketones, so that means I'm burning a lot of fat. So you figure out what works for you, and sometimes, you know, it might be, could have been coffee today. Sometimes coffee will raise my blood sugar levels if you're coffee sensitive or whatever the case might be. But
yeah, again, you want to give them the ranges again that you wanted in. So
yeah, so 0.5 based on the Keto Mojo. So 0.5 means you're in ketosis. It's not a real strong level of ketosis, but if you're at 0.5 and your blood sugar's at 100, you're really borderline. You get in the 90s. And usually the ketones, so say you're 0.5 and then you're in the low 90s, you are in ketosis, but the higher your ketones get and the lower your blood sugar gets, that's when you're really into fat burning mode. And keep in mind that, you know, ketosis is a really clean burning metabolism. So you don't get all the metabolites and all the free radicals, you know, when everybody talks about, oh, you need all these antioxidants. Well, that's because you're in sugar burning mode all the time. And so when you're in that sugar burning mode, it's just, you know, the metabolites are free radicals, and it damages your cells and ages you and promotes disease if you're always in that mode. So when you're in the ketogenic mode, you know, you don't get those free radicals. So
yep.
Have anything else? So stem cell, you know, 2 things, because we kind of want to cram these in before our 5-day water fast on Sunday. So stem cell production is a huge, and it's free, right? But so this winter, I'm probably going to get stem cell injections into my knee, which is probably going to cost me like $3,000 or $4,000. But just with fasting, you can get stem cell production all over the body for free.
Yep, it's amazing.
All right, that's your health nibble.